Hello, good afternoon everyone. Isa na namang napaka-exciting at engaging na episode ng
Usapang
Training
at
iba pa.
I'll be your host tonight. I am June Roy, past president po ng PSTD and currently working as NRI's OD consulting head here in Manila, covering practically the globe. All right. So yeah, what about Ed?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Evening na pala. Alas 6, Edwin Ebreo po, member of the PSTD board at Executive Corporation CEO, and magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Pearl?
Yan, hindi ako nakamute. Good afternoon, everyone, to another exciting Usapang Training at iba pa episode. I am Pearl Martinez. I am the Global L&D Manager for SGS and Co. And you have here, of course, AM.
Hello, magandang gabi mga katropa. Episode 26 ng Usapang Training at iba pa. Good to see familiar faces po, no? AM Villaluz, PSTD, BOT Secretary for the year, and Vistaprint Manila Learning and Development Manager.
26, can you imagine that? No? I'm looking forward to our 100th episode. Right? All right, before we deep dive into our Usapan tonight, AM, why don't you take us through what are we going to expect within the next 2 weeks with our Balitang PSTD?
Ayan. So for Balitang PSTD, of course, we are 10 days away from our national convention. Yes. Ayan. I hope to see a lot of you there, no? So, guys, pwede pa humabol. May mga sale pa, yung mga airlines. Yan. And you can still register and experience really your own talent development breakthrough. It's an amazing lineup of speakers. And in fact, yung mga naka-register na, guys, please check your email, no? And mag-pre-reg na kayo for the concurrent sessions kasi may mga tracks na nagfo-full house na. So make sure you reserve a slot to those tracks that you really want to join. So see you on September 20. And we have some amazing programs lined up in October. We have training facilitation certification by April, designing interactive e-learning using articulate storyline. Yan, guys, Sheena. And of course, training designer certification program with our very own Katropa Ed. And 2 of these programs are certification programs. I really encourage you guys to seek certification kasi it's not just a validation of our skills. It's really an in-depth program where you can hone not just what you know, but also what you can do and what you can deliver. There's so much value to getting certified. And of course, guys, if you're interested in us running certification programs in your companies, you can also seek information at pstd.org. And actually, we have great news about JPSTD, but we still encourage people to help support the linkage between the academe and improving the future of talent development by reaching our future talent development practitioners early. Alam ko, Ed, may 2 sign-ups na ba tayo? For sure, pwede na ba? Or secret pa?
Hindi muna natin sasabihin pero 3 schools na.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're two schools shy of our target for this year.
Okay, ayan. May time pa. So 3 down, 2 more to go. And if you can help connect us to some of those schools, then please reach out to Kevin Nera. Ayan. Kevin's also here. All right. And of course, kung meron pang natitira dyan na hindi pa nag-member, there are more than 10 reasons. There are a lot of amazing reasons to join PSTD. One of the best of which is really to be part of a community of people who not only wish to get what they can, but also to share what they know and what they've done. And today's session is actually a highlight of that. So we really encourage you to help us build community throughout the nation and join PSTD today. You can go to pstd.org for more details.
Or invite others, di ba? Yeah.
Yes, actually, sama nyo if you're finding value to your membership. Thank you. That's it.
All right. Thank you, AM, for those exciting news. Right. So before we start, shout out muna sa lahat ng ating mga participants tonight. You can see in the chat or in our list of participants, marami dyan mga suki natin. No? Some of them are our mentors and hindi elders, kundi those who we really look up to.
Ingat, ingat. Yun.
Ingat. And one of those that I also admire and look up to is our special guest for tonight, who will take us through another exciting episode. And what we announced that we are going to talk about his experience in putting together what we call a multiversity, and then how is it connected to PAL DNA. And tonight we will zoom in muna on the basics of that, which is basically our corporate university. But before that, let me introduce proudly our guest for tonight. For many of us, we know him already, si Cap, si Adi or Adrian or AJ. So Adrian Robles is our past chair and president of PSTD, and the current AVP and Head of Talent Management Development and Engagement at Philippine Airlines. Prior to that, he also graduated with a Masters of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations, dyan lang naman, University of Sydney, right? And Australia Awards Scholar. Siya lang naman po ang 2013 Australia Leadership Awardee, one of the 15 Filipino recipients of the award for that year. And he was also an alumnus of the Japan America Institute of Management Science and a global leader for innovation, knowledge, leadership, and innovation. And he ended his participation in that program with the most distinguished student awards, President's Award for Innovation. And these are things that Adi would not likely talk tonight, but let me proudly introduce him that way. In short, we have someone who has all the qualities to talk to us about our topic for today. And as we mentioned, so welcome, Adrian. So you might want to welcome our participants first before I
Good
the
evening,
first question.
everyone. Finally, na-invite din ako dito. Silent lurker. Madaldal ako sa chat for some of the sessions. But it's my honor to be invited and to be part of this conversation to share with you my exciting story dito sa new organization that I joined in.
All right. Since what we announced is about corporate DNA and multiversity, we will focus first on the basic elements of that, because yung DNA na pinag-uusapan natin doon, it's focused really on the learning culture and the basic component of that na ikikwento sa atin. It's really about the corporate university. Siguro ang tanong muna natin before anything else, sanay naman tayo sa what's in it for us, no? The big why. So when we talk about corporate university, ano ba yung pangangailangan talaga? Why do you need to establish a corporate university? So can we start with that question?
Actually, ever since naging higher na yung role ko in the learning and development profession, it's always been my dream to establish my own corporate university, my own meaning under my leadership.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Wyatt, we helped establish the Wyatt Academy, but I was part of the technical training team then. I was not the pioneer, but I was part of the faculty. So ever since nakita ko yung active niya, yung impact niya in the organization. In that model for Wyatt, nag-join forces ang technical training, which is I was part of in Canlubang, the leadership training, which is in the corporate office, and the sales and marketing, na yun yung malaking bulk of training in Wyatt. Ang naging purpose of that model in the corporate university is to align yung not just the resources kasi we tap the different faculty to run yung mga different programs, but also to send a message to everyone na we just have one goal, which is to develop our people. That was the model there. And then when I joined my other company after that, Meralco, nandun din naman kami na establishing naman the Meralco Power Academy. At that time, we want to, ang goal naman at that time is we want to position our thought leadership in the power industry. So yung corporate university is really depends on what is the aim of the organization. So sabi ko nga, it's always been my dream na if I will have the opportunity, I want to build my own corporate university when I'm in charge, di ba? So when I joined Philippine Airlines last December, yun na agad sa isip ko yun na one of my legacies siguro in this company is to establish that corporate university. Pero hindi siya yung priority ko because I know that the reason why they're bringing me in the organization is we need to solve a problem. Or I need to contribute in solving that problem. Siguro I'm privileged lang na I came in at the very right time. Ito yung we have a new members of the top management, yung Mancom. I joined in December, and a few months before that, the new management came up with the new vision. They revisited the vision, they have the purpose, and they are very clear with the 6 strategic priorities for the year. Okay. And tamang-tama, darating ka, part of learning and development team, and di ba ang role natin is how do you cascade this information, di ba? Where do you come in? Ang pinaka naging contribution namin noon, it's siguro, I'm just blessed na yung head of HR namin, ang strength niya is strategic workforce planning. So even ang approach namin sa talent management, we start first with what is the strategy of the organization to achieve the goal, what the vision on the strategy. And with that strategy, what are the competencies needed for us to achieve those strategies or deliver those strategies? And then from the competencies, in yung existing, yung incumbents namin, do we have those competencies? And if we don't, then dun papasok yung different strategies namin na do we build the talent? Do we buy the talent? Do we borrow? Do we bridge? Do we bounce? Yung 5Bs ng talent. Dun ako pumasok at the right time na we need to identify those competencies. Okay? And the organization that I joined is a mature organization. Diba? Maraming experts in the organization. But remember, eto na nga yung new vision and eto na yung new strategy. So we need to establish new ways of working. We need to identify new skills, new behaviors. And where do you start? Ba? So kayang first marching order sa akin, can you develop or identify the needed leadership competencies and the core competencies of the organization? And wow, di ba? That's such a huge order bago ka papasok. Where do you start? Di ba? Again, I'm just so blessed na merong kaming, at that time, the organization invested with a global management consulting firm na Korn Ferry. And this is for the profiling of yung job profiling namin. What comes with that partnership with Korn Ferry is a rich competency dictionary. And since di ba nililabel mo yung inaano namin yung value of each role, na identify nung Korn Ferry because it's an AI, they have an AI platform. What are the what are the global competencies needed for you to excel in those roles, ba? Yun yung pinanggalingan ko. Siguro kung wala kami noon, I will start from scratch, di ba? And by translating etong strategy ng organization, ano nga ba? Pero since meron kaming data, I just made use of those data by looking at yun nga, how the Korn Ferry identified the critical skills, and from there I match it with yung leadership's perception na for us to move forward, these are the competencies, or syempre HR term yung competencies sa kanila.
Yeah.
Ito yung characteristics that we need from our people. So
I see.
dun papasok yung siguro yung creativity natin as talent development practitioner to translate yung HR terms into lingo that the leaders will be able to understand.
All right.
And eto yung challenge. Sorry, nag-jump ako dun sa challenge and
Sige.
although ang tanong mo is yung corporate university, but sa akin kasi masasagot ko siya later. So ang challenge sa akin is meron namang existing leadership competency ang company. Because sometime in 2018, nagkaroon ng revisiting the vision also. That was the time na ang approach is iba yung direction of the organization. They came up with a very well-written leadership and core competencies. And I found out about that during my onboarding na nakikita ko sa wall. Ang question is, meron naman pala, bakit hindi ito ginagamit? Nasaan na to? Yung pala, nagbago na yung vision. Nawala na yung mga leaders who own that. And these competencies, lumulutang siya. Nasa wall siya, but it's just there. Diba? So here comes the challenge. I'm going to introduce the new leadership and core competencies. Anong difference niyan? Diba?
Right.
It will just confuse the people, or it might turn them up. Ayan ka na naman dahil babaguhin mo na lang ba? Yun yung challenge, di ba? Pangalawa is, anong kaibahan yan doon? Ang ganda, I must say, ang ganda ng pagkakasulat. But ang question is, anong relevance nung the original competencies in terms of the strategies, the new strategies, and the new vision? So, we involve the leaders in coming up. Kasi nag-gather yung data, nakakreate ka ng leadership. So, I'm happy that HR is very influential in the Mancom. They gave us talaga yung space for them to present. This is how we should approach it, diba? And then they took the time, every leader in the organization, the Mancom, really took the time to sit down and understand, are these the behaviors that we need to drive this? Na sobrang impressive on how they were involved, even yung choice of words na gagamitin namin. So several sessions with them until we came up nga with we call it the PAL DNA. I needed to have that brand. Parang nga, pag sinabi mo lang kasing leadership and core competence, anong bago? Pero we're calling it the PAL DNA. Pero saan nagagaling yung PAL DNA? The PAL DNA is actually an application of yung resource-based approach or model ng strategic management. Now, you look at the resources of the organization, make use of that, di ba? And develop yung what is the parang a sustainable source of competitive advantage. Kasi ito yung challenge. The organization where I'm in is part of a highly competitive market. So we have to start also with the discussion. Ano ba talaga yung competitive advantage natin? Bakit sila pupunta sa atin? Is it being the flag carrier? Diba? Is it do people care if they parang yung plane nyo is flag carrier or not? Diba? Tapos other competitive advantage direct flights to the US. Yung iba naman yung we're the oldest airline. Pero pag tinignan mo siya using the resource-based approach, hindi naman siya competitive advantage kasi others can actually copy that, or some of these are not valuable.
So in short, yung PAL DNA, it's your branding for the leadership competencies that you
It's
determine.
Leadership and core, pero kaya namin brinnan na DNA kasi di ba DNA is your distinct ng isang organism.
Yeah.
So sinasabi natin, kung hindi natin magagaya magiging source of competitive advantage yung being flag carrier, yung direct flights kasi others can copy it.
Right.
Then perhaps dun tayo sa ano ba yung service natin? May term dito ang tawag nila is buong pusong alaga. This is our brand for customer service. But again, others can copy that. Babalik kami sa kung yan yung standard natin, paano natin yan ita-translate in such a way that that service is translated or lived by people kahit wala sa airline, kahit kaming nasa ano. So yun, di ba, you have to translate that into to
Yes,
competencies.
Okay.
And as sinasabi namin, it has to be unique. What will make us unique? Di ba? And we have to focus on that.
So in
Okay,
short,
so
you establish first yung competencies that
so actually
are
we have to
strategic.
establish first the competencies.
Saan pumasok yung corporate university?
Eto na, kasi ang nung nilaunch namin yung PAL-DNA, everybody was happy about it. Yung una na-excite sila, pero nagkaroon talaga kami ng company-wide cascade. Pero we cascaded it in such a way that parang yung fun and interactive para masaya, but at the same time may full understanding sila. So ginamify namin yung pag-cascade. But we didn't end with that. We end the session na may self-assessment. Kasi yung paling difference with our PAL-DNA now. In the past, hanggang description lang siya, hanggang definition. Ito, because again, with the Corn Ferry, they are translated into behavioral indicators. And we were able to establish pa na at any level of the organization, ano yung expected proficiency level mo. So when we launch it, now everyone knows now at this level as a supervisor, ito yung required competency sa akin. Ano yung proficiency level na required? Ano yung behavior? Diba? Right. So every session, may self-assessment sila para nakikita nila. And actually, yung self-assessment na yon na ginawa nila during the session, input na sa amin to develop the training program. Ito ang challenge. Kasi we got the buy-in of the management. So kung PAL-DNA na tayo, say, let's talk about PAL-DNA. So where do we apply that? So it's such as in developing people. Now, even when moving people from one position to another, kasi defined na siya eh. So progression and promotion, yan na rin.
Right.
And then sabi namin, and then of course, para to really reinforce it na people will be doing it, sa performance management natin, it should also be part of it. So 40% ng performance manage namin at the end of the year will be coming from their PAL-DNA.
I see. So integrated siya, no?
Integrated. But the question is, what if the people will go back to us and sabihin, did you provide the development opportunities? Kasi you're
right.
telling us, eting standard, but did you provide that? Yun yung naging case namin for justifying now we need to develop yung space where we can provide those development.
Which is the corporate university.
Siyang standard eh. Diba? And the only way we can do that, kasi imagine we're training 6,000 plus employees. Diba? Right now, nasa 90 plus na kami pagdating sa Cascade. But come January, yun na yung magiging basis. So from now until January, paano yung training? Diba? Ilan lang kami sa tao, ilan lang kami. And we don't have the expertise for all these competencies. Diba?
Right.
So doon papasok yung we develop a business case na sabi namin, kung ang gagawin lang ng training team ko is to design courses para ma-develop tong mga competencies na to so that come January, ma-develop sila, then I actually need 27 more trainers who will just do training 3 times a week. Yun yung the only way to do that.
Right.
But since may buy-in ng management, oo nga no, kasi ni-require natin eh, pero paano nga pag bumalik sila? And that's where doon namin na-justify na perhaps we should invest on LinkedIn. Kasi the LinkedIn can provide access to 20,000 courses. Diba? Pero anong kinalaman ng PAL-DNA? There are 800 courses that are anchored on PAL-DNA or na-map nila. May 800 courses sa LinkedIn na related to PAL-DNA.
Okay. So here's the question there. Kasi ang ganda na ng setup eh. So you're able to identify first or link, clarify ano yung overall corporate strategy, and then my workforce planning overall, no? And it's not only about headcount, but overall HR strategy. And out of that, you're able to establish yung DNA, which are really the competencies that matter. Then you organize that dig deeper into the behavioral, And then that's where what I got is that's the impetus for putting together the corporate university. Now, for the sake of our mga katropang trainers who might want to establish their own university, and not just establishing the competencies, can you walk us through your process? How do you establish a corporate university? Because we need to distinguish establishing the what you call the competency base, because I'm sure many of us, they have their competency based models, but it's not yet probably a corporate university. So with or without the competency framework in an organization, how do you now establish step by step yung what we call a corporate university now?
Okay. Before I answer that, magkaroon tayo ng commercial. Kasi I kept on talking about the PAL DNA kanina. I want us to, for the audience to appreciate what the PAL DNA was about.
Oh,
And
yes.
medyo bago nyo i-play yung video I just wanna share with you. Ito kasi yung, okay, dito lumabas yung creativity natin as trainer, We need to launch this heavy topic ang competency, di ba? Tapos iniisip pa namin, paano mo siya kasi group namin, it starts with 6 attributes. Ito yung madaling tandaan. Diba? From each attribute, translate siya into competency. Sabi namin, yung 6 attributes, normally, diba, if we want people to remember that, isip tayo ng acronym, binalibaliktad na namin, wala kaming makuhang maganda. Sabi namin, paano natin yung gagawin? And then sabi natin, no, we need to create a visual mental model na pag nakita nila yung image na yon, they will remember these 6 attributes. And may I ask Nate to please show the video and let me know kung we were able to translate it there. This is the PAL DNA.
For 82 years,
Let's
we've
watch and learn.
grown. Now, we aim to soar higher. As we once again take to the skies, we now create our flight plan. To reach greater heights and get PAL to where we want it to be, we must have what it takes. We must have the PAL DNA. Our drive for excellence keeps us in the right path towards our goal of consistently achieving superior performance and delivering excellent service. With customer obsession at the center of everything we do, we are committed to providing great experiences for them every day. Agility and innovation serve as our wings to help us pivot and soar high. Being agile allows us to adapt and navigate through challenges that come our way, while innovation enables us to create better things for our customers. Ownership and collaboration help us maintain stability. By being accountable, we make more mindful decisions, learn from the past, DNA in us, the possibilities are endless.
There. So
Nice, yeah.
now people can easily remember yung 6 attributes namin
Right.
because of the story na the drive for excellence yung start, the center is the customer obsession, balanced by innovation and agility, and in a form of a plane. So yun yung model, and they are translated into 12 core and 12 leadership competencies. So easier. Okay, ang question mo, paano yung step by step to develop the corporate university?
Yes, in
Sabi ko,
relation to
diba,
your DNA.
Sabi ko, malayo pa actually yung plan kong corporate. It's my dream, pero it's not something that you establish kasi. And this is what I want to encourage people. You don't begin with, let's have a corporate university just to have one. Diba? Kasi ang Philippine Airlines, merong, and I'm sure si Maribel was even part of it noon, merong kaming, they are known for the PAL Learning Center. It's actually a building or an office in Manila na doon yung training center. Parang central ano siya talaga. And andun yung technical, andun yung behavioral and leadership. And iba at that time yung model of the PAL Learning Center. Center of Excellence din siya, pero I think it's even an income generating org. Kasi they offer courses to the community, to schools. So people will really go there. Kasi Center of Excellence talaga siya. Pero nawala na siya. Especially even unang-unang I think I don't really know exactly paano naging yung changes, pero unang-una yung behavioral inundar na siya ng HR, yung technical lumipat sa operations, and then the commercial is also under us, and then yung pandemic nawala yung building na yon. So in short, may training na nangyayari pero iba-iba. Ang focus of course and technical is really those na for certification, for compliance. Sa leadership, eto yung and behavioral, eto yung medyo nawala ng direction. Okay? And one of the things na realize ko when I did a diagnosis ng organization, wala kaming deliberate leadership program for the past 5 years. So ang question nga, so paano natin na-develop yung mga leaders? So that means we just rely on new leaders who came in or yung mga in-house leaders na na-develop. Kanino sila natuto? Diba? So yun yung mga challenges. Plus, meron kaming mga employees who are from outstation or either outside Manila or outside the Philippines. Paano yung training nila? So may mga initiatives na ganun, pero hiwa-hiwalay. Okay, so ito yung mga challenges. And sabi ko nga, strong yung technical. They have their own space. Kami yung behavioral and leadership. Medyo walang structure, but there are good people, good trainers from within. Pero yun nga, walang strategy or deliberate program to develop the people. Nandun lang yung mga soft skills na where we are known for customer service, pero other than that, wala. Okay. 3 year plan ko siya eh. Ang original plan ko, I will start with year 1 ko, establish the fundamentals, establish the competency. Year 2 ko, build ko yung resources to build a corporate university, and that is to equip our people, di ba? To equip even the technical people about proper way of doing training. Kasi ngayon, medyo reliant din sila on canned programs, LMS, kasi provided ng mga aviation supplier. But then, iba pa rin kasi ng meron kang foundation, di ba?
Right.
Our team trains them on delivery, pero paano yung design? So yun yung supposedly year 2 ko. Kasi yung year 3, na-establish mo na yung structure, na-establish mo yung people. That is when we can launch the PAL University at that time. That was a title.
Right.
Kasi eto na, ready na kami to offer courses. And ang positioning namin, the corporate university should be not necessarily one under one umbrella, but at least united yung direction sa amin, yung standards, yung strategy, ganon. Third year start. Pero di ba remember na kwento ko sa'yo, may problem na kami on how to provide the development opportunities. But luckily, nabigay yung funding for the investment for the LinkedIn courses. And this is not just for select people. This is for all employees.
I see.
It's really a huge investment. Etong sabi ko, okay, if we will offer the LinkedIn learning courses to every employee, it might be just taken, just another system, investment, di ba?
Menu.
They might feel na, andyan lang yan anytime. Yung parang they might take it for granted.
Right.
Kasi anyway, LinkedIn Learning, everybody will be given a LinkedIn Learning access. So dun yung sinabi ko, no, unahin na natin yung launch ng PAL University. Kasi remember, the only way we can launch it is if we have those resources now where people can develop and run the courses. Sabi ko, let's launch it, use the LinkedIn Learning just to provide the courses needed for the PAL DNA while we are focusing on developing courses where we are good at. Yung sa technical, yung customer service. So we have time to really concentrate on those courses. While yung mga courses na hindi naman namin strength, which is the PAL DNA, nandun na develop na by experts. Ang role na lang namin is to provide the 70 and the 20. Kung 10% yung link and learning, ngayon yung trainer ko, now let's think of how are they going to apply that, provide the opportunity where they can apply whatever it is that we want them to learn. Kasi nag-develop kami ng mga learning path or curriculum for them. Ang di-design natin, paano nyo gagawin yon?
Okay.
Kaya sabi natin, no, LinkedIn should not overshadow us.
Right.
We tell them, no, this is the PAL Multiversity. This is the corporate university. So, paano pumasok yung multiversity? When we presented it to the management, ang question nila, of course, yung challenge, ano ba yung corporate university? So, we had to explain it to them. And then, again, sabi nila, and then, wow, I think when we told them na, okay, companies are doing this, sabi nila, ba't hindi iba sa atin? Why should we follow what others are doing? Why can't we be different? Diba? And which is very kasi sabi ko, wow, okay yun and your challenges, even if you will look at the logo ng PAL Multiversity, it doesn't follow the typical colors ng PAL. Kasi even one of the top management says, it doesn't have to be the same color. Diba? You need yung young na. Kasi, again, these are based on data rin We are a mostly millennial organization. And we want to position kasi, eto na, ginamit na namin. Okay, how do we maximize LinkedIn learning? Eto na sabi ko yung dream na opportunity to show them, we can now transfer from mere training to talent development kasi we're giving opportunity na for people to develop even on areas na hindi related sa course nila. With access to these 20,000 courses na continue na dumadagdag, we can now claim that we're actually providing you development opportunities even beyond your role and even outside yung career nyo, outside the PAL. So sabi namin, ito na yung opportunity ko to introduce what talent development is. Diba?
Okay.
Parang na fast track.
Okay. So may tanong dito si Ede and it's I think connected in another question because there are companies that have their competency-based program, they have their curriculum, they probably have their internal trainers, right? But they don't brand it as university, no? So for the sake of those who wants to establish a corporate university, ano ba yung one element there? Ano ba yung organizational structure? How does it look like? Para masabing corporate university yan. And then when you already have your competencies,
May
courses,
faculty ba? May faculty.
may faculty. So what makes it a corporate university as opposed to just having a competencies and courses?
LMD plan.
Yeah,
LMD plan.
in a typical corporate university, ganun siya, may structure siya. Na may org structure, merong faculty. In fact, usually the head of the organization is the dean.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there are several academies. Kaya nga, traditionally, when in my mind noon, sabi ko, if I'm going to establish the PAL University, okay, there will be Leadership Academy where my spaces. And then there's a Technical Academy, yun yung expertise ng technical. And perhaps we can create other academies like customer service, or areas na where ito yung aming strength. Diba? So yun yung typical. So pero sabi ko, we don't want to be limited by that. Kasi kung sabi ko nga may existing departments at the moment, di ba? Kung magfo-focus ka doon, it might be too controversial telling them all of a sudden na eto na tayo, ganito na siya, di ba? So sabi namin, let's not shake that let's win them over by supporting yung concept na we are here to provide yung at least sa amin ang corporate university namin, ang vision namin is provide holistic development to our employees. Kasi part ng strategy namin, mahirap labanan yung package ngayon yung compensation. Di mo yan laging walang katapusang adjustment ang gagawin mo dyan. But data are saying na especially for the younger generation, the millennials, they look for companies that will provide them development opportunities and leadership opportunities. So yun yung isang part ng case study namin showing na with this LinkedIn, imagine access to LinkedIn Learning, which is part of the PAL Multiversity, we're giving everyone the opportunity diba? To grow, be in charge of your
Right.
development. So yun yung part namin ng pang-attract din sa kanila. So yun yung focus namin. We're here to organize ourselves so that yun nga, mabigyan kayo ng holistic development. Sa ngayon kasi, if you're not part of the operations, hindi mo alam na may technical training. You will never be part of that.
Right.
But with PAL Multiversity, we're telling them, meron na, eto siya. And siguro for your appreciation of what PAL Multiversity is, eto yung short video, and then I will give you a little additional lang to what PAL Multiversity
Sige
is.
nga,
This will tell
that's
you
exciting.
how we implemented our corporate university in PAL.
Right. Sige, let's try to understand how it's different from a typical corporate university. Multiversity.
Welcome to the world where learning takes center stage and empowers you to reach new heights. Today, we dive into the 70-20-10 principle, a game changer in personal and professional development. This learning model is simple yet powerful. It accounts for informal learning in the overall development of an individual, where roughly 70% of learning happens through experience or on the job, 20% through social learning, such as coaching and direction from the employee's manager, and only 10% through formal education. We subscribe to this principle as a guideline that underscores the importance of a balanced and well-rounded approach to learning and development in the workplace. To maximize this potential, we need a new learning space, one that transcends the boundaries of a traditional corporate university, embracing a multimodal approach to learning and development. We call this space the PAL Multiversity, a learning ecosystem for a diverse array of growth opportunities. The PAL Multiversity provides a space to consolidate all our development initiatives and programs. It is a hub of collaboration and exploration where our employees can take control of their growth and acquire the knowledge and skills needed to thrive in an ever-changing world. A multiversity is a transformative concept offering a wide range of learning opportunities that are multi-formatted and diverse. It revolutionizes education within an organization by empowering employees to adapt, evolve, and drive the company's success. The vision of the PAL Multiversity is to be the central source for holistic development of employees and to be a center of excellence for talent development in the Philippines. Its purpose is to unleash people's limitless potential. With a set of objectives crafted to align with their company's goals, culture, and values, or the PAL DNA, the PAL Multiversity serves as an immersive and dynamic platform that cultivates a continuous learning culture, nurturing employees' holistic growth. Moreover, hands-on training and simulations provide practical experiences that reinforce theoretical knowledge, preparing our employees to excel in real-world scenarios. Through mentorship programs, leadership workshops, and personal development courses, we aspire to shape well-rounded individuals who can contribute not only to the company's success, but also to their personal growth and fulfillment. Whether you're a seasoned professional seeking new challenges or an aspiring talent ready to take the leap, the PAL Multiversity is here to fuel your success. Welcome to a world of endless possibilities and boundless growth. Welcome to the PAL Multiversity.
I see. Wow, nice. So what I got there is that what makes it multiversity, it's in the keyword itself, ano? Yung multiple, the diversity of everything that is in it, no? Courses, modalities, and all, right? So that transcends the typical corporate university. May tanong dito, Adrian, si Miggy. And I think this is also a very good question. Ano? Yung benefits kasi napag-usapan na natin. But given the steps that you mentioned kanina, when you walk us through your experience putting up this multiversity, what are the challenges of putting together or setting up, whether you call it a corporate university or multiversity? Ano ba yung mga pains and challenges that we need to be mindful, and how do we overcome these challenges?
Remember, sabi ko nga, parang afterthought na lang yung coming up with the university, di ba? Ang original ano namin talaga is really how to build the needed competencies that will drive the strategy of the organization.
Mhm.
Kaya we made sure na it's part of their PMS. That's why we made sure na part ng progression and promotion dito ka na rin i-assess. That's why even now yung recruitment, we're recently meeting with different assessment centers to provide yung quick assessment na using the PAL DNA. Kasi doon naka-anchor siya to the people programs. So ito na yung I mean sa PAL DNA. Ang basis namin when you are if we want to hire you para ma-measure yung job fit mo and culture fit, dapat closer ka to the PAL DNA. So we're training our leaders now even how to do the competency-based interviews using the PAL DNA. And then yung recent promotion and progression namin, measure sila yung pagdating sa potential using the PAL DNA. And then yun nga, at the end of the year, you'll be rated based on your rating dun sa performance mo ng PAL DNA. With that, it will compel the people to maximize etong learning space kasi you wanna move around the organization, di ba? And yun yung basis. Here, ito yung space where you can actually maximize that. And online pa lang to. Marami pa kaming version that we are developing. Siguro ang key, Miggy, doon is yun nga, because we started with the term na easier for everyone. So now, when you talk about PAL DNA, alam nila yan yung core competencies and the leadership competencies mo. When we talk about now the PAL Multiversity and the Lincoln Learning, that's where I can go to when I want to be developed. When we launched the PAL Multiversity, pinakita namin yung journey of an employee. The moment you start in the organization, pati yung mobility mo, paano ka mag-move from one role to another. Kasi nga, because we're giving you the space to be in charge of your development, you can move around the organization. Kung the FA pumasok as flight attendant, you can always be part of the admin or whatever, depende sa role mo, because may PAL DNA. Alam mo yung if I want to transfer from this role to another, and this is we have this what we call the DNA nandito naka-define, everyone has a copy of this. Alam nila na kung anong role na lilipatan mo, anong proficiency level, and in that proficiency level, ano yung behavior. So everyone knows na ito yung Bible namin ngayon when it comes to assessing your potential or readiness in the organization.
All right. So what I got there is that the real challenge really there, it's not just putting up the competency and all the infrastructure, because that's if you have competent team, they can do that. But what I got there, Adrian, is that the real challenge, it's how do you now create buy-in, especially not only from the top management, but for all the people. And that's how you actually come up with the idea of the multiversity with the videos. It's about taking a marketing approach, to the, tama ba? So it's not just putting the infrastructure, but it's really selling the entire idea.
Pero sabi ko nga, di ba, we took the the time to cascade the PAL DNA, and we train everyone in the organization. Ngayon yung mga nasa outstation abroad, medyo yun yung challenge kasi medyo yung time to go there, and hindi naman namin pwedeng mahamper yung operation. So we're developing an LMS version siguro for them. But there are station managers who flew into Manila where we train them on that. But even from the top management down to the rank and file employees, they went through the cascade. And in that cascade, ako and even our HR head was there to open and to close. Kasi we have to explain to them, eto na yung standard natin. So alam nila na eto talaga yung basis.
Okay.
I have a question.
Ed.
Hindi kasi I'm listening to Adrian and I recognize the wealth of creativity and innovation and resources that went into a multiversity. I just want to go back to Miggy's questions on problems and challenges. No, if you look at it, for example, from a perspective of a company who doesn't have that kind of resources and what would be the challenges? Is it the absence of resources would be a challenge? Or is there a like ano yung mga fundamental requirements so that you can put together a corporate university?
Okay. Nagkataon lang na the management invested on the LinkedIn learning. Kaya na fast track yung launch namin. Without that, you can still. So I want to encourage people, no. You don't need to have that subscription. Ang sinabi ko in terms of resources, you can develop your own, you can get speakers to run the courses for you. Kung basta klaro sa inyo, where do you train them on, di ba? Sa amin nga, klaro kasi yung competencies. In fact, some of you might think, ang dami naman, 12 competencies, di ba? But we had to start that's the reason why we got the buy-in of the management. We told them, for us to achieve this strategy, ito yung kailangan. Kung magpapa-apekto kami dun sa standard na dapat 7 lang or 5, di ba? We won't get their buy-in kasi alam nila na kulang yan di ba? So, it's a very ambitious na sinasabi namin, okay, as a leader, 12 competencies ka, but we have to start somewhere. We're not saying na lahat ng leaders meron to. Some of them are aspirational, particularly yung innovation, di ba? But yun nga, we have to start somewhere. Balik is, ang limitation, Edwin, madugo siya kasi how do you provide the development, di ba? Ito nga yun yung papasok na isang approach na siguro you can tap your internal resources who may be an expert on some of these competencies. Ba? And again, yun yung traditional approach ko nung una. Kasi ready naman ako na hindi i-approve yung LinkedIn Learning. Kaya nga sabi ko, it's a 3-year plan. On my second year, supposedly, dahil on my first year, established na yung competency. On my second year, eto na, we build the structure, we build the faculty, we equip them. And yun na sabi ko, kailangan ma-certify tayo lahat on how to, ng PSTD, on how to design training courses. Diba? And we duplicate ourselves. Sabi ko, you have to be certified on how to in all aspects of training para when we certify internally for our Multiversity, we are credible. Ganun yung standard.
Right.
Yun yung long step.
Okay. We have 8 minutes.
So privileged na meron kaming ganun.
Yeah. We have 8 minutes and there are several questions here. Ito siguro yung pinaka-quick na lang, no? Umpisan natin. Mayroon bang any feedback or survey at this point about the PAL Multiversity Learning?
Yung Multiversity Learning, ang measure pa lang namin ngayon is yung kasi we just launched it in June 29 yata.
Right.
So ang measure pa lang namin is in terms of activation. How many people have activated the account? Kasi yun yung challenge.
Right.
In fact, sabi ng LinkedIn sa amin, to get a 30% activation by year 1, that's a good number. We're now at 70% activation. Kasi sinet namin sa KRA namin, no, it has to be at least 90. Kasi sabi namin, ayoko yung babalikan kami pagdating ng PMS. Yun nga, kasi sinama natin siya as a requirement, tapos wala kayong pre-provide. So sa akin, at least man lang ma-activate. And then since we gave them nga na we created learning path na every leader, every employee, meron kang at least 3 courses na kailangan mo ma-complete. Para lang they get used to it, di ba?
Alright. Have you already identified, Adrian, kung after activation, ito naman yung next na measure natin?
Yeah, meron na. Yun nga, yung learning path. So yung usage ng learning path.
Okay.
Pero again, these are online courses. This is the 10% of the 70-20-10. Kaya nga, ang next approach ko is, for now kasi, sabi ko nga, kayo as a trainer, sabi ko sa team ko, we're a marketer for now. Kasi we just need to market this, maximize the LinkedIn Learning. Sayang yung subscription. But, we have to be mindful na by next year, eto na. Eto talaga yung design, training design nyo will come in. You provided them the 10%. How are they going to apply that? Ano yung i-create nating programs or intervention that they'll be able to apply that? For example, one of the courses there is goal setting, discussing the goals, di ba? Meron naman kami ganun sa TMS. But how do you compel them? Eto, one way is, let's conduct a survey to the employees if how's their experience during the goal setting. Kasi if I have that data, then I can tell the leaders na, okay, we provided you the training, we have the memo that you conduct this, but the data is saying hindi nyo ginagawa. Di ba?
I see.
That will compel them to do that.
Adrian, here's a good question coming from Mentor M. No?
Yeah.
Does PAL have a career development function? If so, how does it interface with the multiversity?
Yes, yes, and Mentor M. I'm just so lucky that even career development is under me. So the talent management, the talent development, and even engagement is under me. So easier for sa akin. So that's why in succession planning, we're recently finalizing also that program. We're using, pagdating sa potential, we're using the PAL DNA as the basis. Kasi nga, in terms of identifying people, yung mga successors natin, eto siya. And then ano yung PAL multiversity role niya? Again, when we assess people, and meron pa silang gap on those leadership competencies. Ito yung quick ano dyan eh. We have this LinkedIn Learning access where you can actually where you can learn some of these courses and then guide you on how we can assess that guide the leaders on how they can assess their people if they have those competencies na or kung na-close na yung competencies. Again, babalik ako doon. Ang ganda kasi ng pagkaka-define ng competencies eh. Behaviors talaga siya. So hindi kayo nagbobolahan. You're just talking of one So it's a matter of saying, is the person exhibiting this or not? And if he does not, then ano yung development opportunity diyan? The PAL Multiverse, the LinkedIn Learning is there. You can develop and then perhaps we can think of other ways. So some of the things that we plan to offer in the future is also yung career coaching. Kasi we need to guide. Now na sinabi natin, you can be in charge of your development, then we need to provide that space also, yung service also to our people.
Adrian, may magandang tanong din si Dr. Melinda de Guzman. Hi, ma'am. So, how do you drove employee engagement towards the changes being done, such as the activities and trainings, particularly the old ones, I mean the senior ones na pasama po ako doon. But it's a reality there, no?
You can't please all, pero sabi ko nga, based on data, we are a mostly millennial organization. 65%, more than 65% of our employees are millennials. Diba? Kaya pag launch pa lang namin ng PAL Multiversity, everyone is very grateful. Na meron kami niyan pero we have to pay for it pa. O meron kami niyan pero during the pandemic kasi free yan. Now we're telling them you have access to full
ano yung naging
everyone has
engagement
access.
strategy nyo? Even if it is 60% millennial, how did you engage them?
For one may clamor for development opportunities sa organization. Kasi sabi ko nga, 'di ba, for the past 5 years walang leadership development.
I
So
see.
just by showing this maraming leaders na who are after their development are excited. Oh, finally meron na tayong ganito. So mas actually wala naman akong narinig na parang why do we have this? In fact, most of them are very excited. When we did the cascade, yung PAL DNA pa lang, wala pa kami ng PAL Multiversity. Sobrang grateful sila. Kasi nga parang after the pandemic, ngayon lang uli sila nagkita-kita. And most of them, sabi nga, we've never had a session like this na magkakasama kami and we are being trained on, yun nga, sa behaviors. So ganun yung excitement.
And what about the senior?
Sabi ni Maribel kanina. Yes, Maribel, that's why sabi ko nga the afterthought na lang yung setting up the university. Diba? Sabi kang ang pinaka dito is, do you have those competencies? Ano yung mga programs mo to support that? Once you have this, saka mo na lang siya bubuuin eh. Sa amin, binilisan lang namin kasi andyan na yung meron ka ng investment in this. Might as well maximize that. And
so in short, for the millennials, the engagement itself, it's creating that platform, no, yung multiversity, because it answers their clamor. Now, the question of Dr. Melinda de Guzman, it's particularly on, thank you for clarifying, yung senior, it's yung hindi millennial. That means who are already maybe managers and up in the corporate ladder. Ano yung successful or effective engagement na ginawa niyo sa kanila?
Well, for one, meron kaming hindi pa namin masabi kung hindi successful or successful. Pero ang
At least
mga some of the
engagement,
initiatives
yeah.
na now meron kasi kaming Monday we call it Monday takeoff. Nire-label namin yung flag ceremony namin into Monday takeoff, an opportunity for us to meet together, announce mga important communications and then those we award yung mga learners, top learners. Like tomorrow we'll be announcing the top 5 learners na nakatapos ng courses nila na required. Ba?
I see.
So we're looking at that. Too late na kasi nung na-approve yung Lincoln Learning and the PAL Multi, too late na for us to include that sa kanilang KRA. But next year, it will be part of the KRA, even ng leaders, on how you provided development opportunities to your people.
Yun, okay.
So I siguro kung hindi mo pa kung after kasi, and remember we are also yung performance management system namin is the basis also for our differentiated rewards. So very important yung how are your performance is being measured. So if it will be part of your KRA in terms of developing yourselves and developing others, then that would be a very compelling reason for everyone to also do it. Yun yung key na we have the buy-in of the top management on the value of training. Bumabalik kami dun nga na why we're talking about competencies. Because remember, these are all supportive of what you have identified as our strategic priorities to achieve the vision.
Yeah,
So
okay.
everyone
Yeah.
from the president down to the MANCOM and to the in the organization, they when we talk about PALDENE, they know what it means and how important it is in the organization.
All right. It's 7:01 pero tawad lang ng ilang minutes, no? Pearl, would you like to ask the last question?
Parang tumigil ako sa kumakita. Sorry.
Yeah, about profit center.
Okay. So actually, I have 2 questions. Looking at your multiversity model, have you ever measured like what has been its effects to the business? Because at the end of the day, we always look at as something that has to redound to the bottom line for it to be supported by executives. And secondly,
Hold
have
on.
you ever
Yung
thought-
first, I think nasagot yon because it's only activation at this stage kasi step by step, no? So yung second question is,
Yeah, my question is, have you ever thought of making the university a profit center rather than training is always seen as a cost
Interesting.
center, pero we can always make it a profit center by having the different departments. If they access something from the university, they should be paying parang B2B yung
right.
yung
Even if it is
diba?
internal to the organization.
Yeah, and so that it becomes a profit center.
Yung impact to the business sa akin, Miss Pearl, yung sa akin yung engagement, diba? The employee engagement. Kasi may data kami that shows na some of the clamor pa rin ng mga tao is they were never given the development opportunities.
Yeah.
So we see that by having this, ito yung one of the drivers ng engagement. And even in attracting younger generation in our company, we launched pala our management training program. We call it the New Generation Leaders Program. Yung first cohort namin, and we gave them access. Imagine pagpasok na access to the Lincoln Learning. Sobrang excited nila. Every day nakikita may mga pinopost nilang certificates na natapos nila, and even on weekend. Doon pa lang nakikita namin maganda siyang pang-attract. In terms of making it a profit center, maybe, pero that would be a long term siya.
Long term.
Mas nakikita namin ang PAL Multiversity in terms of community partnership. Okay, one government agency is actually tapping us, requesting PAL to provide training on managing change or leading the change. And sabi ko, ipoposition ko na yon na ito na yung partnership nila with the PAL Multiversity. We might do also training for, eto dati ginagawa to ng learning center ng PAL where they train yung mga nangangarap maging flight attendants. We train them on the basics ng ganon. Tapos parang mas yung higher chance of employability. We are looking at that as
Pangarap ko
well.
rin yun
We're
dati.
looking at that as well na even before we do the caravan, kasi we do caravan hiring sa mga different provinces. We're looking at perhaps before that training, we go there and we train our people. These people, kasi even if they don't get hired, at least you increase yung chances nila of employability. Now you're giving back to the community.
All right.
So mas
Thank you,
nakikita namin
yeah.
yan, yun yung partnership namin.
Yeah. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, everyone. Nako, 7:05 na naman. Bitin talaga. Dapat isang araw ito or is at least 2 oras because
Yes, and
our guest has so much to offer, has so much to talk about. And even as a corporate university, ang dami nating pwedeng i-cover. No? So just to wrap up, what we got there is that first, you don't start a university, whether you call it multiversity, omniversity, corporate university. Klaruhin mo muna, ano ba yung strategic directions ng company, right? And then you build your overall HR strategy around that. And then that's where the corporate university would come in as a part of your strategy. But then there are foundations that you need to put together. And the basic foundation pa, no? Yung competency, which is, as Adi mentioned, behaviorally anchored, no? Hindi lang basta descriptions lang. And so once you have your competencies, the sets of behaviors, and then as Ed mentioned, then you put up the infrastructure and the structure, just like any academy or university. So mayroong courses, may syllabus, may curriculum, mayroong professors or whatever you sets of instructors, both technical and behavioral, right? And then in terms of measuring it, you don't go into measuring everything all at once, no? You start simple, and I like the fact that you started, let's say, with a simple like activation, because you cannot measure the impact yet, no? Yung overall impact can probably take about a year, 6 months, pero yung from the time of launch to probably 6 months, yung activation is an important issue. So I like the analogy, like for example, yung LinkedIn courses. No, you don't just create those and then just send them the link. You build an engagement around it. So yung leaderboard, creating buy-in among the leaders, and it so happens generational, yung generation nyo, there's really a clamor. No? And with that, on behalf of the Usapang Training, mga katropang trainers, we'd really like to thank Adrian Robles, our past chair, for sharing his time and his stories, all these insights that we got in terms of how we put up a corporate university. So bigyan naman natin ng thunderous applause virtually, no? Ang ating special guest for tonight. And for all those who shared their time also, maraming salamat po. So, yeah, isa na namang napaka-insightful, napaka-practical, at napaka-fulfilling na 1 hour and more. So maraming salamat po.